Good morning. It's January the 6th, and we are launching from Salters Creek in East Carter County. It's about 3 or 4 minutes to 9. The temperature is about 48, 49 degrees, supposed to get up in the high 60s today. It's going to be warm. We're launching from a ramp here off Thorofare Bridge. We'll be paddling down the Thorofare several miles out in Thorofare Bay, Long Bay, around the point, back up through Salters Creek, back up to the bridge at Salters Creek Bridge. About 12 and a half, 13 miles more or less, depending on how we paddled the bays and so forth. But it's a pretty day, a little overcast, which might be good because we're all wearing dry suits again this morning. It's going to be a warm one, but the water's chilly. I'm checking the water now to find out what the temps are. But it's going to be a pretty paddle today. Hopefully we'll see some ducks and shorebirds. Just have a nice adventure. First one of 2026. Accompanying me today on the first adventure of 2026 is George Morgan of the New Adventure Paddlers, as am I. We're both looking forward to an enjoyable day on the water. This morning, as we're going out of Thorofare, heading out of Thorofare Bay, which is north, going out towards the Moose River, we'll have a little bit of incoming tide to help us out, and hopefully that tide will help us for the majority of our paddle going through the Moose River. We may have a little paddling against the tide once we hit the Salters Creek, but somewhere around 12:30, 1 o'clock it's supposed to start getting back out. So, should be a good day. We've been paddling about 1.25 miles from our foot end, and we've been going down Thorofare, which is a creek which connects the Core Sound area out to the open waters of Moose and Pamlico. We're approaching the mouth of Thorofare itself, entering what they call Thorofare Bay. And temps are up into the low 50s, 52, 53, and rising. It's a pretty somewhat overcast sky, but the sun's starting to come out and starting to clear even more and more. It's hardly no wind at all. As you can see, it's a near finish out here. It's been easy paddling. We've had a little bit of current to help us out, not much. We haven't seen a whole lot of wildlife. We've seen a few crows and a couple loons back there, but other than that, it's a seagull or two. It's been kind of a plain marsh. Not a lot of things that really stick out and draw your attention to it, but we're just getting started good. We'll see what the day brings. This morning, with no wind and the gray sky, it was hard to tell where the sky ended and the water began. With few landmarks, it made navigating interesting. All right, we're almost around the point from Thorofare Bay into Long Bay. Finally starting to see a few waterfowl. Probably too far to see with the GoPro. Maybe we can get up to them before they fly. But it's been an easy paddle, doable paddle. Warming up. Sun's clearing all the partly cloudy clouds out of here. Getting the blue sky. Beautiful day. There they go. Feel like bufflehead. Not doing a whole lot of filming because it's just a plain mirror finished water with not a lot of character. With a few ducks, things are improving. Back in the sun. One of the first real things we've seen out in the river since we started paddling is coming up on a pound net out here. We're having to paddle around the end of it because the net goes all the way to shore. But the first thing's different than just marsh out here. A pelicans sitting there on the post, trying to find a free lunch in there. We are paddling out of Thorofare Bay area, around on the point, going in the long bay. Off in the distance you can see the tiny island of Island Range, control tower and buildings. We're going to bear to our left, go along the edge of the marsh and start heading towards Salters Creek. They are probably about 4.5 miles. Let me check and see. We're right at 4 miles into our trip today. Off in the distance, another pound net out there. We may have to paddle around that one too. Another duck blind off in the distance. Bluebird day, no ducks. Get back to you. After paddling the whole way down Long Bay, turning it into the mouth of Salters Creek, we're now actually turning into Salters Creek. A little bit further back in here than we thought it was before we had to turn onto the creek, but we made it. Now we got about 4 miles, 4.5 miles to our takeout point. Wind's picked up to about 5, maybe 8. Feels good. It's been so hot with no wind. Got a little ripple on the water. We just had a couple of fishermen go by in their boats headed this way. So we're going to let them get ahead of us. And maybe we'll see a few birds along the way. I'll stop and take a break for a minute too. We've been paddling almost 8 miles, maybe a little more. So it's a good day, pretty day. A little warm to start with, but this wind is helping out, cooling us down some. A great day out on the water. Well, we are officially in Salters Creek. A bit of a current, probably at least 1 knot, maybe even more. Incoming tide yet. So we got a little bit of tide to paddle against until it turns. Hopefully it will turn in the next half hour. But until then, got a little bit of current paddle to work against. Good stuff. Stopped to take a break at the mouth of the creek. Had a snack, took a rest for a minute. We've been paddling for about 8 miles. We're up to 9.08 miles right now. So we got about 2.5, 3 miles to get back to the takeout point. Hour and a half, depending on this current. Been a good day. Pretty day. A little bit of clouds. Just enough to wind to keep us getting too hot. Didn't see a lot of wildlife. Back on the open water we saw several dozen different kinds of ducks out there, but they were so far away you couldn't tell what they were. Seen a few pelicans, a couple herons, seagulls, blackbirds. Like I said, a couple dozen different kinds of ducks. Had to paddle around 3 or 4 pound nets. Other than that, it's not been a very eventful paddle, other than just having a good time out on the water. So it's been a good day. Any day on the water to kayak is a good day. New day, new experience, new adventure. I'm at 67%. Mine says 67%. We finally got out of the marshy area. We got into some hardwoods and cedars. A little bit more character to the paddle than just mirror finished open water. Pretty back in here, quiet. Got a kingfisher we're chasing all over the place here. And we're coming up on the Salters Creek Bridge. We've had to paddle a pretty substantial current ever since we've entered Salters Creek, about 4.5 miles or so back, and did not make as good a time as we had done earlier. Most of the morning we were paddling at about 2.5, 3 miles an hour. We were lucky to make 1.5 miles against that current that lasts 4.5 miles. So it's been a little bit of effort making it back to the ramp this afternoon. But it's a good day. We're still trying to figure out the tides. We thought the tides were going to change, but it looks like the tides in this area are maybe 2.5 to 3 hours different than what they are in Beaufort. So we'll have to remember that. Just been a good day. Clouds are starting to move in a little bit. Sun's been shining all day. This morning, the no wind and mirror finish and the haziness and the difference just did not give us any depth perception. It was hard to figure out our location at times. Even with GPS, it was hard. There's so many little creeks and bays and things like that along the route that hard to pick out the correct one to turn into at times. But it's been a beautiful paddle. Didn't see as many birds as we have, or as much wildlife as we had, but we were a lot in open water today, more than normal. I think by the time we get to the ramp, we'll be pushing a little over 12 miles. This has been a good paddle. We had predicted pulling up somewhere between 2 and 2:30. We should be out by around 2:30. By the time we load up, we'll get George's vehicle and head home. We'll be on the road heading home by 3 o'clock. It's been a good day. Enjoyable paddling. Paddle a new area that I have not paddled before. And we saw some cool things. I think the challenge of this particular adventure was the length of time we've had to paddle against the current and the inability to be able to differentiate the different bays and points because there was just no landmarks out there. We have nothing but water and marsh. But we're making it back. Enjoyable paddle. Great day. Great adventure. And on to be planning our next adventure for maybe next week. Have a good day. The wind has picked up to about 5 to 10. Helped cool us off a little bit with the heat we were making paddling against that current. But nothing to be an issue. This first adventure of the year was an enjoyable day on the water with a good friend. Mostly open water paddling has presented navigational challenges at times. We learned a little about the tides and navigating in that area. Thank you for following and watching this kayaking adventure with Gigi's Outdoors Adventures. Please like and subscribe, and check back again soon for another adventure with Gigi's Outdoors Adventures. Take care, y'all.